When people think of Suffern in Rockland County, they think of a close-knit community, beautiful outdoor landscapes, rich history.
So we talked all night about the rest of our lives, where we're gonna be when we turn 25. I keep thinking times will never change. Keep on thinking things will always be the same. But when we leave this year, we won't be coming back. No more hanging out, cause we're on a different track. And if you got something that you need to say, you better say it right now, cause you don't have another day. Cause we're moving on and we can't slow down. These memories are playing like a film without sound. And I keep thinking of that night in June. I didn't know much of love, but it came too soon. And it was me and you, and then we got real blue. Stay at home talking on the telephone, and we would get so excited and we'd get so scared, laughing at ourselves, thinking life's not fair. And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever. So if we get the big jobs and we make the big money, when we look back now, will our jokes still be funny? Will we still remember everything we learned in school? Still be trying to break every single rule? Will little brainy Bobby be the stockbroker man? Can he ever find a job that won't interfere with routine? I keep thinking that it's not goodbye. Keep on thinking it's our time to fly. And this is how it feels. As we go on, we remember all the times we.
Good evening, parents, teachers, family members, and friends. Welcome and thank you for coming to our 5th grade graduation ceremony. We are so happy to be celebrating in person this year. It means so much to all of us that you could join us tonight. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Welcome to our 5th grade promotion ceremony. We'd like to thank families, staff members, Mrs. Weber and administration, and board members for being here today. We couldn't be more grateful to be able to celebrate in person and outside today. Woo! We'd like to start off our ceremony by recognizing the resilience our students have exhibited throughout this entire school year. This has been a year unlike any other. We have learned in ways we never could have imagined and have grown exponentially. 5th graders, we'd like to recognize your effort and show your families and teachers just how much you've persevered this year. So, please stand, 5th graders, if you've helped a sibling or a family member with online school this year. Please remain standing. Please stand if you've donated food to a food pantry or helped a person in need this past year. Please stand if you celebrated a holiday or a birthday on Zoom this year. Please stand if you've created new ways to say hi to family members and friends this year. Please stand if you've helped take care of younger family members this year. Please stand if you learned how to sew a mask this year. And finally, please stand if you've persevered through an entire year of remote or hybrid learning. Let's give a big round of applause. Students, you may be seated. Families, it has not gone unnoticed that our students' resilience is due in part to your support at home. We'd like to take this opportunity to recognize you for all you've exemplified over the past year. So families, please stand if you've learned the ins and outs of Google Meet and any other online resources this year. Please stand if you've joined a new club on Zoom this year. Please stand if you've thought of new ways to have play dates this year. Please stand if you've learned far more about the 5th grade curriculum than you ever thought you would this year. And finally, families, please stand if you've persevered through an entire year of remote and hybrid learning. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Caitlin Priest, and this is Haley Swindell. We'd like to say thank you to the PTA for doing so much for us this year. My mom is Ellen, is the president of the Viola PTA, and Haley's mom, Jamie, is in charge of getting the word out to families. This year, the Viola PTA organized so many virtual events for us. We had an author visit by Lori Kalkoven, Math Science, and Engineering with Little Ivy. We even still had our Scholastic Book Fair online. We also can't forget the Viola masks they provided all of us at the beginning of the year. The PTA has helped all of us achieve goals over the past 6 years. They supported us, encouraged us, and moved us along, and we all had fun doing it.
The 5th grade committee also helped make our last year Viola a special one, and for that we'd like to give a big thank you. We were able to have fun with an online game night this year and even have shirts for the night. After our trip to Kakiak, they provided us with lemonade and watermelon as a refreshing snack. They also made sure we had a fun signing day for our yearbooks. A lot of time and effort was put into these activities, and we are so thankful. The 5th grade committee kept our last year at Viola a memorable one. Thank you, Mrs. Priest and Mrs. Grossman, for organizing these amazing activities. And a big thank you to so many other families who have volunteered their time and effort into this year. Thank you, PTA and 5th grade committee.
Every year, the Viola 5th grade leaves a gift so that Viola can remember us after we have moved on to the next chapter of our lives. The gift that we are leaving here is a mural about resilience. Resilience means to have the ability to bounce back after something difficult. This is something we all had to learn due to the global pandemic. The mural is important to us for a few reasons. One, it's going to be how Viola remembers the class of 2021 forever. This mural is the mark that we are leaving on Viola. 2, the resilience is a reminder of all the ways we bounce back from all that has happened in the past 15 months. But I mean, who's counting? By being in quarantine, social distancing, and wearing masks, we have been resilient through these tough 15 months. And lastly, it was our last time to work on something all together as a team. I mean, our last project for the 5th graders in Viola School. So I think I speak for all of us when I say this mural is truly special to each and every one of us. So a huge thanks to the 5th grade committee for making this special project possible.
We would also like to take this opportunity to say a very special thank you to Mrs. Reisenhauer, who has been there since many of us were in kindergarten. As we move on with the next chapters of our lives, we will always remember what she has left with us, like her amazing talent and great artwork. Her classroom was a fun and loving place for all of us. Although she will not be here the next time we return to Viola, we will always remember her. Mrs. Reisenhauer, wish you a very relaxing and peaceful retirement.
Did you know that learning critically may be one of the most important skills that today's children will need for the future? In today's global and rapidly changing world, children need to be able to do much more than repeat a list of facts. They need to be critical thinkers who can make sense of information, analyze, compare, contrast, make inferences, and generate higher-order thinking skills. These are the words of Mrs. Hammond, who I'm speaking about today. Mrs. Hammond has been working with me since I was in 2nd grade, whether it has been robotics or math, literacy, or gardening outside. No matter what the subject is, she always makes it so engaging and makes me constantly want to learn more.
For example, I started going to her tinkering engineering lab during lunch period every day. We would create different things like a Coke cart, chairs made from nothing but cardboard. We also started learning how to code with her robots. We joined multiple events and contests that she encouraged for robotics and literacy. She recently entered us in the Eleanor Burlingham Earth Day Creative Arts Contest, and 3 people from my school, including myself, were one of the winners. On behalf of Viola School, I would like to thank you, Ms. Hammond, for your utmost guidance and support throughout all the years. You have worked tirelessly to make sure we all reach our full potential and our goals. The lessons you have taught us will always stay with us. We are so grateful to you, and Viola will miss you.
They're still going. Good. I didn't realize that was okay, sorry. This way. Sorry. But that was like that.
Oh, wait. Okay. Senora Plain has helped many of us learn the basics of Spanish since 1st grade. She's a special way of teaching to make learning fun. Over the years, she's taught us songs and routines that we have learned by heart and will always remember. We also had fun using Kahoot, sign language, and other Spanish websites.
If we didn't have Senora Plain as our teacher, Spanish would be very difficult to learn. We are so fortunate to have the opportunity to learn a foreign language that we can use in middle school, high school, and beyond. Senora Plain, since you've done so much for us, we would like to wish you a happy and relaxing retirement. Gracias, Senora Plain.
See, now it has my name. Good evening, Mounties.
Welcome to our family, friends, and administrators. Congratulations, this is a year like no other. It will be one that each and every one of you will reflect back on as students, parents, teachers, and administrators. Stories that bring tears, laughter, joy, sadness, or any myriad of emotions as we reflect on this unprecedented time with our friends, our children, and even our grandchildren one day. Tonight, we are reflecting on resilience, celebrating what we work together to see happen in our school community. We once again pulled together as Viola Strong, and we showed our Mountie pride. As a principal, I couldn't be more proud to have had the opportunity to lead us through such a challenging time with such an incredible staff. Amazing administrative colleagues and supportive parents alongside me who wanted to partner together to open our school and see our children thrive. There was unexpected lessons. Students for the first time saw little things as far more important. They just wanted to be back in school and with their friends. I would like to honor the staff who made this happen for us. There are just a few of them that I would like to honor, especially right now as fifth grade teachers and as my administrative intern who led through a pandemic. I'd like to ask Vanessa Rodriguez to please come up. Never would I think that as an administrator, I'm supposed to be teaching someone else to be an administrator when I'm trying to figure out what the heck does a pandemic principal do when we've never done this before. But she followed me so willingly, and she did such a great job. She will be our summer school principal, and that makes the teacher so proud to see her student strive and to thrive. So congratulations. Every principal needs a pandemic counselor. Mr. Jackson had 3 principals. I can't even imagine, but I'm sure I was the worst. We text daily, every morning, and we would give advice, take a breath, we'll get through this. So Mr. Jackson, for being there not just for our kids, students, he's there for us too as adults. We all need helpers. So Mr. Jackson, I couldn't thank you more for standing by me through the pandemic. I also want to thank our 3 classroom teachers. We have Mrs. McDonald, or Mrs. Flaherty. I keep knowing her as McDonald, so Mrs. Flaherty. We have Mrs. Levine, and we have Mrs. Burkett and Mrs. Ralston and Mrs. Cratchman. I wanted to acknowledge them as well, because without them, this would not have happened, nor this year would have happened. Mrs. Marquette, I wanted to give you a special acknowledgement because she not only was a teacher, but had to do this as a parent and live in the building while we all tried to navigate this. So I have a special gift for you, Mrs. Burkett. And that's what family is all about, Mrs. Burkett, as she was like always volunteering. I never knew which hat she really had on, but as soon as I saw her coming, I knew she would take on any job I gave her. And thank you to all of these teachers because they have been simply amazing. I also wanted to give a special award to a principal's award to Mrs. Voss. Please stand up. Mrs. Voss started this job. We interviewed over the summer together, and I told her, you could be the ENL specialist. She's on maternity leave, and she's like, I can do this. And how are we doing it, remote, in person? I'm like, I don't know. She asked me about the job. I don't know. So, I had Vanessa who followed me, and I had Mrs. Voss, 2 very young ladies that followed me blindly, but you did a great job coming in for Mrs. Flaherty. After being an ENL teacher, you moved to the 5th grade and still said, not a question, not a problem, whatever we need to do for these kids. So it's the first time I've ever given a principal's award at this time, so I wanted to give this to you. Thank you so much. So when I think about Pandemic Principals Award, I was laughing that I was calling it a PPA because we wore so much PPE this year that I thought we just needed more acronyms, Mrs. Weber, so we can add that on to our acronyms when we're having some meetings. Viola students, you truly accepted the challenges, grew from them, and learned new ways to participate in learning reimagined. Your resilience through the years helped to lay a foundation that we can grow and rise from our greatest struggles and achieve new learning we never imagined possible. Your ability to navigate remote learning, seek out creative ways to connect with your classmates while managing rows, social distancing, wearing masks, and even our crazy Post-it bathroom system. I don't know when I thought of that one with Mrs. Casavis, but we definitely found a new use for Post-its. 15 years ago when I started, I would never think that I'd have to reimagine bathrooms and the use of Post-its. Thank God for Mrs. Penny, she orders 1 million of them. You understand that safety mattered, and above all, you work together to help us to achieve a common goal, to keep Viola open and to hope for better days ahead. Your teachers and I are so proud of each of you. Most importantly, you should be proud of yourselves. The pandemic most definitely caused stress in all our lives. However, we also saw that it brought new ideas, taught us lessons, and helped us to reflect on what's really a priority. Tonight is a special night. I have never had an outdoor promotion in the evening. I love that we are outside and I don't have pandemic hair. Celebrating with your family and friends. We are even live streaming beyond these bleachers and into the home so anyone can enjoy and celebrate with us. Thanks to our tech director, Mr. Coronado, who has been unwavering in his resolve to be resilient in order to bring connection through new technologies when every message was about how we should personally disconnect and stay 6 feet apart. I'm in awe of you, Mr. Coronado. He's somewhere up there. He's waving. I have my very first certificate for you. I will make you run down, but it says the Pandemic Technology Wizard. Hopefully we never have to do this even in another century, but you definitely have the first honorable one. This is the true example of Suffern Central's commitment to resilience in our schools and for our students. The 5th grade students selected resilience as tonight's theme. This amazing gift truly tells a story about what resilience means to them. The dictionary defines it as the capacity to recover and adapt and bounce back when things just don't go as planned. Well, there were a few of those. Resilient students are described as being very aware of situations, their emotional reactions, and sensitive to the behavior of those around them. This awareness allows a student to maintain control over a situation and think of ways to tackle a problem. I have spoken to many of you throughout the years. You shared that in the very beginning, as far back as your journey at Viola began with kindergarten orientation, Kinderstars, and lunch buddies, that you were scared and tackled challenged even before the pandemic. Some of you shared how nervous you were to leave your parents to go to school for the first time. Viola School itself appeared to be too big. You were intimidated by the size of the building and meeting teachers and trying to make friends that you were yet to know. Yet you trusted in your parents and your teachers. You gave it a chance and you learned that school was actually fun. Can you believe that? Oh, come on. How fun is school? Oh, come on. Guys, I have it on record. Best day ever, I heard some of you saying this year. You good. You loved your time learning with your teachers, and your days were packed with engaging activities, PTA programs, special events too. Here you are now. You learned to read, write, do all kinds of challenging math problems, and navigate friendships. You have learned the power of the words, I am sorry. You might have made a poor choice or spoken in a word in frustration. The words I'm sorry will live with you forever. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to own them. I know many parents who are sitting here tonight shared how they struggled alongside you this year as dining rooms became classrooms. Parents, you tried so hard to navigate iPads, Chromebooks, apps, and let's not forget the many unfamiliar math strategies. Parents, you had to reimagine how you have learned math. Adjust to learn with your children. You did it together. You were resilient. You have my utmost respect and gratitude. The 5th grade mural for resilience, this gift I will truly cherish as I visit the classrooms. It will always be a reminder of how you perceived resilience, how you defined it, how you felt about it, dealt with your feelings in order to live through a pandemic. It will serve as a reminder, something to strive for beyond just this year, for all our students and visitors who walk through our halls. Your personal experience with resilience is as unique as this gift. There is no other like it. This is your legacy. Today we had our seniors come, and I have to tell you, the first thing they went to was to take pictures of their tile and art, their pictures of their murals. So you will see that your legacy will live on, and you too will visit and be proud of this gift. Mr. Jackson, Mrs. Walsh, Dr. Garrison, and your teachers shared their insight and expertise to help us develop an understanding of resiliency through our Yale EI curriculum, our mood meter check-ins, and through daily lessons and interactions, we learned with each other to be our best selves. Even grown-ups have to work on that. Principals, too. Our very talented and dedicated retirees, Mrs. Reisenhower, Mrs. Hammond, Senora Plain, and our outstanding PTA were especially instrumental in supporting the Viola class of 2021. I would like to give a special award to each of you. Mrs. Hammond has been here for 48 not counting the 2 years she told me she did of service at BOCES. Linda, this is for you, Mrs. Hammond, for your love, your passion, your inspiration, leadership, and the legacy of learning. I can tell you as I sat here, she said, do you know that we're standing and sitting above a bunker? And she's giving us the history of why that is. And then she asked, why are there windows over there in the gym? And I'm like, I don't know, Mrs. Hammond. And she's like, I said, maybe air? She's like, that's a good guess. And then she said, I said, maybe some light? And she said, oh, that's good thinking. But then she told me the real answer. What's the real answer, Mrs. Hammond?
When the school was being built, it was before World War II, and the men were working on this. It was going to be the first high school in Rockland County that had an indoor swimming pool. The war came along, and the pool was never finished, and the windows are still there, and it became a gymnasium.
Well, even though we don't have a pool, we are so happy to have had you in Suffern Central and Viola. There is no teacher like Mrs. Hammond and no school like Viola. Mrs. Reisenhower, I'd like to acknowledge you for your loving heart and your talented hands and over 25 years of service. Every hallway I walk in, from the time I walk into the front foyer, I think of you because your touch is everywhere in our school. I wish you the best in your retirement. Senora Plain, your commitment to the families and your connection to support our community and this year during the pandemic was just outstanding. She helped us connect to families that we had lost contact and some of our students. And without her commitment to keep making those phone calls, answering my texts at any time, and telling me how much she learned in technology, she'd be so excited. Look what I can do! Look what I can do! So I am so proud of your learning as well, and thank you for your 22 years of service in Suffern Central. Mrs. Grossman, our PTA president, and Mrs. Priest, you have both been dedicated, lifelong Viola volunteers who have given willingly and lovingly of your most precious time to ensure that there is no school like Viola. Thank you for your dedication, your volunteerism, your commitment to our community, and your support of all our students, as your leadership made not only tonight's gift possible, but ensured that invaluable resources were available for the benefit of all students throughout the years of Viola. Additionally, because of you, our fifth grade parents' PTA teacher grants have inspired teachers to bring their passions and student interests together to create a love of learning and memories for a lifetime. Tonight, I send you a special thank you, and to all of you as parents. I would have never been able to do this alone, and I am forever grateful for the partnership, leadership, and resilience that was behind me each and every day. Mrs. Grossman and Mrs. Priest, I would like to present you for the first time ever the Principal's Pandemic Service Recognition Award. Please join me on the stage to receive the special and heartfelt appreciation. I truly couldn't have done it without you. And by the way, happy birthday, Andrew, because I know it's your birthday tonight, and I just want to embarrass you because I know us moms, we do. Mrs. Reisenhower, thank you for always inspiring us and sharing your talent of focusing on how important expressing your thoughts and feelings through art can be. Mrs. Hammond, you have my utmost respect and appreciation for your continued ability to challenge students' minds, providing hands-on experiences while using your legacy of the Linda Hammond Nature Center. It will be dedicated to you tomorrow morning and presented to you in coordination with the PTA, and it will forever be the Linda Hammond Nature Center. If you have not been to the Nature Center or our gorgeous courtyard gardens or our outside garden, that has Mrs. Hammond and Mr. Selly's name all over it. Thanks to them, our students have learned to plant vegetables and flowers. You have given us the appreciation of the world of learning way beyond our classroom walls. The best part is donating the food to help those in need in our community. A lifelong lesson of humility and thinking beyond our own needs. Giving back to others is another way to feel good and to allow all of us to find resilience in tough times, especially a pandemic. Senora Plain generously gave of her time to contact families and help us stay connected with them. She was the difference to so many of you and your families when you needed us most and our doors were closed last spring. We may think of our lives are tough until we look outside of ourselves to see that there are often others in a storm without a life jacket or a boat, or maybe even in this case, an open school. Mrs. Weber, Mrs. Pario, our Suffern Central School administration worked tirelessly to make this goal achievable this fall, and I want to thank them and acknowledge them for their efforts and resilience. Mrs. Weber and Mrs. Pario, please come forward. Mrs. Weber, for taking on the toughest job I could never have done or imagined of doing. For pandemic resilience and leadership, I want to thank you tonight. And for the first annual Principals Award, I want to acknowledge all the resilience you had to have while still being a mom. And she has been in our building with 4 children and had me as the principal for 13 years. Or 12, who's counting? What's an extra year? Mrs. Weber, thank you for your partnership and for your collegial support all these years. Mrs. Perio, I don't know what to say. You have been a friend, you have been a confidant, but you've also been a pandemic instructional and visionary leader. I wish you luck in your endeavors. She's on her way to become a principal in Pearl River next year. We will miss you dearly, but she led us like a fearless leader on how instruction would happen when we had no idea. She stayed calm. I would look at her in those Zoom meetings and I'd be like, you look so calm. So I wanted to say, I wish you all the best. Thank you for teaching me how to also be a better leader. Recently, I was also thankful for a few students who had the opportunity to share their thinking, experience, and learning. For those special experiences, I am honored to have heard student voices that resonated with me and captured resilience better than I could ever have imagined. Chevy Braun, can you just stand? Chevy, you could just stand. I just wanted you to, you can stay right there. That's okay, Chevy. I won't make you come all the way up. I met Chevy in 2nd grade when she transferred into our school. And she wanted a tour and was anxious like any student would be to start a new school. Chevy, you are one of the most resilient students I have seen. It can't be easy as a student transferring in, but while I was watching her do her mural, I was so impressed with your artistic and thoughtful ability to define and capture resilience as we spoke in Mrs. Reisenhower's class. Your contribution to the mural inspired "Live in the Light." That's exactly what she had written. You drew a lion crossing a bridge from the darkness on one side into the light in the other. I loved how while you were thinking more, and as we talked about it, you went from saying you weren't sure why you picked a lion, and you spoke how you shared that you were really not sure, and then you started to say to me, I think because a lion has courage. Chevy, you drew what you were thinking. As you elaborated, it became clearer to you. This is often the case. Talking to others and taking the time to reflect is a great way to process our thoughts. You shared that the lion symbolizes courage and strength. To be resilient, you might be like a lion and find the strength and courage to cross that bridge. It is not always easy to take the harder path into the light, but it is often easier to be drawn into the dark and give up. Your interpretive depiction of resilience truly captures the path you and your classmates took. You were resilient and you didn't give up. Thank you for that piece of your mural and sharing that with me that day. Joseph Herrera, he's not here tonight, but I was brought to tears with his compassion and empathy during our student interviews. He shared that he wanted to help others to get through the pandemic together. I could feel my eyes start to tear up with joy as he shared that each morning he came to Mrs. Levine's link playing music before Mrs. Levine came on to help others relax and socialize in the new normal. He spoke to me about how isolated it felt and remote learning was hard. He expressed that even when in-person learning took place, everyone was still inundated with daily reminders to stay 6 feet apart. You personally tried to build relationships with friends and connect with others across classes. You knew your classmates craved connection, and you worked towards a solution. You told me connecting friendship groups wasn't as easy as you thought, but you didn't give up. As you will all come to realize in time, the first step is the hardest on a path worth pursuing. Your impact on me that day led me to bring your insights and experience to our district and school leaders. Your willingness to share this experience and the needs and struggles of your classmates created a synergy of ideas to help all students in our school and district community connect and heal. Joseph, I thank you for that. Aaron Santiago, please stand. Aaron, I was equally impressed with your empathy for your classmates and sharing that it's important for kids to feel challenged and supported, even during a pandemic. At such a young age, you spoke to me about compassion for teachers and students to manage the stress to keep up with their lessons. You shared how much you loved Mrs. Hammond and her ability to provide challenges with patience and fun, engaging activities while driving your own learning. You said you missed hands-on group activities and getting outside more for sports and enjoying nature. Mrs. Boysa shared the same feelings with me a little later in the week, and we created a timeout for Tech Day. To quote what students said about this special event, it was the best day ever. Thanks to Mrs. Mermelstein, for those of you who are saying that you didn't remember that, Mrs. Mermelstein, our fearless public relations coordinator and our pandemic paparazzi, please come up and accept this principal's award. She was busy taping, I'm sure, taking a picture. She's always capturing anything and everything, and I never know where she's showing up with that camera. Thank you for always capturing students in action. I have to tell you that when I was writing this speech and looking back at what I wanted to do, just having all those pictures, she sent me folders and folders. My husband wanted to know what I was doing at 4 a.m. I was looking at pictures for our retirement, putting them together. My husband thinks I'm crazy, but thank you for those pictures because I'll treasure them for a lifetime. Then we reimagined our 5th grade field day since we couldn't hold our traditional grade field day, and we couldn't hold that. So we decided we were going to try to reimagine it. Thanks to Mrs. Burkett's leadership, we had an amazing time at Kakiak Park with fun, hands-on filled activities, games, and even a hike. I don't know if I want to thank you for my allergy attack, but other than that, it was a great day. With the help of the community resources and the park rangers, we had a memorable day outdoors, learning about conservation and the environment. I learned that we could even recycle certain things. I had no idea. How did you like that recycling race that we did? We had to go with the hook and find the right place. That was pretty cool. And Mrs. Boysa, boy, you run. That was pretty good. The lines were uneven, and Mrs. Boysa said, "Don't worry, I'll do it." So I got to be the paparazzi, and I have it on tape, so I'll share that with you. Who would have thought this would have even been possible? Laughing, smiling, being outdoors, no masks, and maybe a little bit of sneezing. It was just as you had described, Aaron, a day full of hands-on activities, movement, exercise, and connecting to nature and each other. What a day, and thank you, Aaron, for another wonderful idea. I want to thank all 3 of you for using your passion and voice to exemplify resilience, which impacted our school community. You helped adults to partner with students to ensure we not only talked about the pillars of resilience, but we recognized them, raised awareness, and most importantly, we lived them. To every 5th grader, your passion projects were heartfelt, personal, and symbolized your connections and positive impact. It is a testament to your understanding of how your actions and voice support resilience. You should see these passion projects. All grades participated in announcements by creating their own videos, enjoying other students' original videos to start our day, ensuring that we live by resilience pillars: awareness, mindfulness, self-care, and purpose. Since we couldn't huddle in the office, and Aaron, I know you kept telling me how we missed this, doing live announcements, you once again reimagined our PA announcements. Mr. Zobel, the fearless leader of PA announcements and organizing videos. My hat's off to you. He created Google Docs upon Google Docs with all the announcements, and I would be scrolling through them trying to find them. So thank you, Mr. Zobel, for helping us to create a sense of community and give students voice and purpose even during a pandemic. We had such a creative, important, and helpful videos. The pledge was led by students. There were riddles and jokes, exercise videos, some of which you led daily yoga with Mrs. Stone. We learned new ways to play and still have fun at recess. You are so happy to be back and still amongst your friends and teachers that even sitting in rows instead of in tables in the cafeteria, I never heard one complaint that you went from desks in the classroom to 6 feet apart. You saw past the negative and lived in the light, as Chevy had described. This is resilience. This was no easy feat to overcome, but with your resilience, you did it. May you always practice resilience, lead by example, and use your voices to make positive change. You have been rock stars. It is critical that we remember resilience is not about avoiding the stress, but learning to strive with the stress. I am truly thankful for all who helped me to dig deep this year. It doesn't happen in isolation. It took a true pandemic partnership. I applaud everyone in front of me tonight and all those behind me this year. This is hashtag Mountie Pride, Mrs. Mermelstein. We are hashtag Viola Strong. Best wishes at Suffern Middle School. I know you will go on to achieve great and amazing things. And I know you will always remember, there is no school like Viola.
Okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. Fifth grade teachers, if you'd like to stand. Oh, are you doing it one by one? Okay. Okay, sounds good. First row, will you please stand? Joseph Altieri. Genesis Alvarez Tovar. Holden Anders. Sarah Barak. Dante Batista. Colin Bernach. Chevy Braun. Bardonia Camille. Gabriel Catul. Stephen Chiqueza Medina. Tynan Cosgrove. Elisa Critelli. Jesse Dorselli. Second row, will you please stand? Okay. Ethan Fleischman. James Flett. Melanie Glinsky. Tyler Grossman. Naomi Hargett. Zulima Enriquez Peña. Alejandra Hernandez Urbina. Ariana Humphrey. Angel Jaquez. Sophie Jimenez. Delphine Kirchner. Derek Kirchner. Row 3, will you please stand? Ari Cooperman. Faith Lake. Matthew Levin. Eric Mybeck. Ryan Mermelstein. Ella Motzinger. Patrick Pario. Alex Popowitz. Caitlin Priest. Ryan Prisciantelli. Widmila Renault. Fourth row, will you please stand? Keshav Sakrani. Aaron Santiago. Gabriela Sepulveda. Sally CQ. Shannon Sullivan. Haley Swindell. Kingston Thompson. Melina Trance. Gavin Turco. Amy Weber. Michael Weber. Joshua Wexler. And Zoe Wilson. Congratulations, class of 2021.
They say a picture paints 1,000 words. A graduation song can do just that. We are singing A Million Dreams this year as a reminder that as difficult as things can get, we could always dream and strive to create a better future. This moment, this graduation from elementary school, is a chance to reflect on where we've been and what we've accomplished. It is a moment to look back, to keep dreaming, and keep believing.
Please enjoy our graduate song, A Million Dreams. Thank you, Mr. Zobel, for helping us with our song, and thank you to all our teachers for everything you have done for us during our time at Viola.
Here's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away.
The special things I compile, each one that'll make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We have lived in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world I see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
We would like to congratulate all of the Viola graduates standing here today. Through our years at Viola, we have made friends that we can depend on for the rest of our lives. In middle school, these friendships will help us grow and learn together. Without the support of our families and friends, we would not be standing here today. This has been an exciting journey that no one will forget.
We would like to thank Ms. Just, the PTA, the 5th grade committee, and all of our teachers for giving us memories that we will never forget. We are so lucky to have had such amazing people in our lives. Thank you all for coming and supporting us on this journey.
You know what else makes Mrs. Dross resilient? Cookies. There is going to be cookies thanks to the PTA and the PTA committee. So students, when you exit afterwards, please go enjoy some delicious cookies. And also cookies for the staff. So any staff who are here, please also join in the fun of the cookies. And anyone who doesn't want them, Mrs. Dress takes all extra cookies. I always like snack. I wind up in everybody's classroom at snack time, don't I? I want to thank everyone once again. This has been the most beautiful evening. I think this is probably one of the best promotions I've ever had. Thanks again, Mrs. Weber, for making this happen outside. I would have never imagined we were ever going to be outside and I could see everyone's faces without a mask. I waved to you every arrival and dismissal, and I can't even imagine. Like, I'm looking out and it's like so nice to see everyone. And I said to the kids, I can see your faces and you're not eating snack. But in a few minutes, I guess you'll be eating snack again with those cookies, right? Great job tonight. Great job. I hope you'll always come back and visit. This is always your home and your family. Also, Mrs. Reisenhower has a special, there has one memory of kindergarten on one side and one memory from 5th grade. They can take them off the blue boards to bring home with you, but please enjoy seeing what the students made as their memories. As you go up and exit, you'll see them on the blue boards. Have a great night. Enjoy. Thank you again. Oh, thank you. You're the best.
My wife be watching this live. She's like, who are you texting every day?
When people think of Suffern in Rockland County, they think of a close-knit community, beautiful outdoor landscapes, rich history and diversity, an exceptional public school, championship sports.
I love working in the district, particularly the connection that we have with our community.
Rigorous academics.
What is the limiting reactant?
Teachers who care.
Señora Vaca. Señora Vaca.
The people who work here are unbelievably caring and supportive of each other.
Suffern Central School District is where you belong.
Suffern has really made me raise my game as a professional and as an individual.
Isn't it time you felt the Mountie pride?
Go